3. Oh yeah, allow me to ask you a question, gentle strangers. Remember when I told you about my personal experience with the modern day giants in Iceland? Another question. Remember the scriptures attest. Not baptized scribe attest, but the scriptures attest. The Rodanes were multiplying men on islands. I pray thee to ask another question. Remember we discovered Homer, the Iliad to be exact, also talked about Greece. The whole world and the adjacent coasts were populated by men beyond counting on the island of Crete. I beseech thee to tell me not nay, and allow me to ask you yet another question, gentle stranger. Remember when we discovered Columbus' official report to Spain included a passage about people beyond counting on islands? I can't hear your answer because this is a video. But if you remember these facts, what are the odds of this and it not be a double secret cloning factory? Quote, the most extensive Arabic account of the Rus is by the Muslim diplomat and traveler Ahmed I. Fadlin, who visited Volga, Bulgaria in 922, described people under the label Rus at length, beginning thus, personal quote, this is what he said, I have seen the Rus as they came on their merchant journey and encamped by the Italy. Listen up. I have never seen more perfect physical specimens, tall as date palms, blonde and ruddy. They wear neither tunic nor kaftan, but the men wear a garment which covers one side of the body and leaves a hand free. Each man has an axe, a sword, and a knife, and keeps each by him at all times. The swords are broad and grooved of Frankish sort. Apart from Ibn Fadden's account, normalist theory draws heavily on the evidence of the Persian traveler Ibn Rushd, who, it is postulated, visited Novgorod and described how the Rus exploited the Slavs. Listen up. Personal quote. As for the Rus, they lived on an island. What? As for the Rus, they live on an island that takes 3 days to walk around and is covered with thick undergrowth and forest. It is most unhealthy. They harry the Slavs, using ships to reach them. They carry them off as slaves and sell them. They have no fields but simply live on what they get from the Slavs' land. When a son is born, the father will go up to the newborn baby, sword in hand, throwing it down. He says, this is what he says to the baby, I shall not leave you with any property. You have only what you can provide with this weapon. Stop. Bingo. Can you say underground cloning factory? When I asked Google how tall were date palm trees, it told me 23 meters. That's 75 ugly American feet. So as you can see, this is the real reason why they disregard the Arabs' eyewitness accounts. They are giants that operated an underground cloning factory. You know, just like the scriptures attest, Nebuchadnezzar will destroy but not be allowed to touch the prey. Ah, you remember that? This also proves all of the images and moving pictures of the Varangians' clothing and their armor all over the place is either straight up lies or they are of the upgraded models. But let's continue if you don't believe me. Under Byzantine sources, cutting to chases, quote, listen closely, quote, in his Trestis de Administrado Imperio, Constantine VII described the Rus as the neighbors of the P's who buy from the latter cows, horses, and sheep. Personal quote, because none of these animals may be found in Rosia. What? Let me read that again. In his Tresties de Administrado Imperio, Constantine VII describes the Rosos, R-H-O-S, as the neighbors of the P-E-C-H-E-N-E-G-S, who buys from the latter. So that means that the Rus buys this from the P's: cows, horses, and sheep, because none of these animals may be found in Rosia. Wow. This description represents the Rus as a warlike northern tribe. Stop. Bingo. Why all the puzzle faces? Why bingo you ponder? Well, our earlier history series, Siberian Mongols to be exact, proves cows, horses, and sheep can be bred in the coldest of climates. Besides, in a normal situation, cows, horses, and sheep are fast reproducers, meaning in a normal situation, there is no way they should have to buy cattle. Nevertheless, be the only place upon the face of the planet. Nevertheless, be the only place upon the face of the planet not to have them naturally. No, ladies and gentlemen, just like the scriptures attest, they needed to buy cattle to clone them. Why? To send the cattle out with their new and fresh replicas. I mean, when you read Jonah chapter 4, verse 11 in the Septuagint, quote, "And shall not I spare Nineveh, the great city in which dwell more than 12 million of human beings who do not know their right hand or left hand, and also much cattle?" What do you perceive? I perceive 10 to 20,000 clones being released at a time would need much cattle to supply them. That's what I perceive. Look for the next. Please give me, I gotta skip a day, Wednesday night, to put something else out. The next segment. This is all I can do for tonight. I had to, as you know, scramble to get this out. This part out. I gotta buy a whole new computer. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. So, thank you for looking at these videos. This should be a Monday and Tuesday, hopefully, and give me Wednesday night, maybe Thursday. You should get more videos throughout the weekend, because there's a lot of information. A lot of information just on this alone. Man, we haven't even delved into all the subgroups who are just as, oh my goodness gracious. I'm not going to tell you who the Israelis' true name is yet, because I want to keep the suspense going. But when we get to who they are, oh my goodness. It's all been in front of our faces, ladies and gentlemen. We have just been under witchcraft and sorceries to look at what is right in front of our faces. We're perceiving it the different way. If we just perceive it the way it's said in these history books, boom, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is who these motherfuckers are. Wow. All right. So, thank you for looking at this one. By God's will, stick with me, people. Hang with me. Look for the next one.